start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. And his first pass is incomplete.
So this, Charles, on paper at least, not the most even of matchups. Polar opposite, really. I mean, on one sideline, you got the hottest team in the league, still unbeaten, and on the other side, a winless squad.
And that's why I owe you, and I owe you big, because you did email me this week to remember.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Able to force him out of the pocket right, but still able to complete it. He's got room at the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 55 yards. And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. On 1st and 10, Mills. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Down inside the 10. Touchdown, Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
And Pierce gets it again on second down. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Now this defense for the Eagles, they were excellent a week. In the win over Pittsburgh.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it. Back deep, Danny Amendola. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
But first down, Hurts. Throw out right, hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Boy, a pair of big plays here. This one going for 29. A big play like that looks familiar, doesn't it? Like we saw a week ago, reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Nothing wrong with being explosive. Nothing wrong with being electric. Nothing wrong with carrying it over from the previous week off to a really, really hot start.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. So 3 plays already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. From the gun, it's Hurts. Eluding the pressure right.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with his second touchdown of this opening quarter.
And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. "21-0 our score after one. On 4th down, out is the punter Cameron Johnston to boot it away. Here comes Amendola.
A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back.
And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Jalen Hurts bringing the Eagles out for their next drive.
And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside
on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns.
And the Eagles continue to pull away here in this first half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last drive, 3 and out. Still the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Nico Collins, the intended receiver.
3rd down here.
Now, the Eagles and Texans, polar opposites last year in terms of running the football. The Eagles were number 1 in the league. The Texans, 32nd, dead last. And in fact, the Eagles ran for nearly twice as many yards as the Texans did in 2021.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
Amendola set to return it. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. They start on the ground here at Sanders.
To about the 23. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Hurts sets up to throw it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And that nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Throwing is Hurts. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Hurts.
He'll buy some time right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside from 8 yards out. And the Eagles have taken a 5-touchdown lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And, you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10.
Mills.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury.
The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Flush to his right.
And he's got it. And he will be out of bounds with a 1st down as they will have a 1st and goal on the other side of the 2-minute warning. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 42-0. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Set to punt, here's Cameron Johnston. Pulled in at the 24.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside.
He's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is caught. Touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
From the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Mills now.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
This time they stay on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return.
And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. This pass outright to Arcega-Whiteside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. So roughing the passer there, a big mistake defensively.
Yeah, and even though you've got a quarterback out of the pocket and the rules change downfield, that doesn't mean the same rules don't apply with the QB. Anything more than one step, they're going to throw a flag on you every time.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. And the first half, just like the end of the game, can't end with a defensive penalty. They'll have another play.
One more play, untimed. See what happens here.
They're going to look to throw. This will be caught. It's Arcega-Whiteside. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. Then later, they'll let the sun die down a bit in Tampa. A late start here in Florida, where it'll be the Buccaneers taking on the LA Rams. And then finally, Monday Night Football, the Ravens and Saints down at the Superdome at 8:15 Eastern Time. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. From just inside the 20, a short kick. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half, so where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half. Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
First and 10, it's Pierce. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll run it out of the gun with Mack. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, here's Mills. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. Finding room at mid. Before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for Philly. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. Touchdown, Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 33 yards. And the Eagles extend their lead yet again. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. A short kick taken at the 18. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look?
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Houston. Tyrell Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to at least get one score back. Fairbairn good with the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. They'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Let's give a little credit to the defense on that one. They resisted quite well, and that pass fell incomplete. But this ball game for him, that's just a momentary speed bump. He's played awfully well throwing the football.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards the pickup there. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Down inside the 10. Touchdown. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside with career touchdown number 75. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
A short kick taken at the 18.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but
and Mills is intercepted for the 3rd time. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Hurts will throw. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for two, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Mills now from the 50. Dumps this one off to Mack. And some space here. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome. But completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mills to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mills. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
And in 2 plays just like that, they're already operating in the red zone. Back to throw now on first down. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Touchdown, Eagles. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Elliott on for the extra point.
Now before they can try the extra point, a flag comes out, and they're going to get tagged for a delay of game. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
From 5 yards further back, the extra point up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
From the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, I think the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. First down, Mills.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
Picked off by Jimmy Moreland. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. Touchdown! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, 34 yards. And the Eagles are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
Elliott good on the extra point, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Houston set to take over. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. 1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans. At their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw, Mills. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation. Touchdown, Eagles! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Eagles add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Elliott now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. Mills throw taken in by Jarwin.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Throwing, Mills.
The tight end Jarwin with it out on the left side. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
A first down throw for Mills.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown.
And that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From the 10. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
We're facing a big fourth quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Now Mills.
And as he throws and the ball is out, it's a live football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
That one looks like he'll throw here. His throw incomplete.
Well, Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their family.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Elliott good with a PAT, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out comes Houston.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here's Mills.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th sacked in this ball game.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards.
And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly.
Well, partner, nothing but praise from me for this offense. They have been tremendous all night long. They knew what they had to do to unlock the defense. And let's face it, this has been a master class in offensive football that we've been here to witness.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty. Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them...
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, Your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. One last shot from Mills. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Eagles, they continue to cruise as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week as they will take on the Washington Commanders.